Hello, welcome to Perchy. It's just that, nothing more, nothing less. That and the TV have all gone. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to you all. Yeah, look, I'm back to sort of set the record straight on this football club because we've heard loads. I hear so much stuff, and you know what? Taking the time away allowed me to sort of gather my thoughts about it. And look, I'm gonna go out on my sort of thoughts of this football club. What's really going on at this football club is another thing, because I hear a lot, I see a lot, but a lot of things. I love watching the change in people's opinions. It's good just sitting back on the byline. Let me just big shout out to all the people first in here. Big up to you all. Donna Cullen had to be the first to put a comment in. Big up Donna Cullen. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Big up to you. It had to be. It was poetic that you were going to be the first person to comment. Big up Daniel Harris. Yeah, look, we'll be diving into it. We're going to have a little conversation about all of that, really. On everything about Tottenham, if it comes to the manager, if it comes to the football club, everything. We're going to go dive into all of it, and we'll break a lot of it down. Big up, Pat Moore. How you doing, my friend? Big up to you, mate. Big up to you. Big up the Spurs podcast. Guys, go and subscribe to these people. Great content creators. Big up, Carl, mate. Big up. Keep smashing it. And might come on someday. Like the cockerel. Who done that for you? Big up Nige from Pure Coins. Another one of those logos looks really familiar to me. Big up to you, my friend. Big up Nige. Yeah, I mean, I have helped these guys out. I'm not blowing my own trumpet and stuff. I helped a few of these guys out with some of their logos and stuff because I kept myself behind the scenes for a little bit. But we're going to start sharing my opinion. Big up Scott Colliver. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you for coming back. Thank you for returning. Guys, make sure you're liking, subscribing. Obviously, I lost a lot of subscribers, obviously, when I went, understandably. Like, I don't see why people needed to sit around when I wasn't streaming. So if you could share this out to your friends and stuff, let's just sort of build this sort of community up. I'll be going through stuff just after I've had a little chat with you guys quickly about what's going to happen here, what's new on the channel, what's going to happen. And I will I'll let you know. The mod father's here. He will stand there with his pistol. Yeah, don't be a dick or you're gone. Yeah, literally no. I'll go through it in a second as well. Big up to you, Ben. Absolute legend on and off camera, my friend. Absolute really top bloke. Big up to you, my friend. Big up Rinketic, mate. Rinketic 13, how you doing, my friend? Absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming back. Big up to you. Big up Balpinda. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you. Afternoon all. Yes, afternoon, everyone. Big up. Mojo's back. Ola to you, my friend. Big up. And Josh, big up. Thank you very much. Welcome along. Big up, mate. Finn Rookwood, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ben with the best. Yeah, honestly, Ben's coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but I know he's got some good stuff. Look, let's talk about it. New channel, new things are going to be on. Look, people will be asking, why have I come back? Look, I've come back just because, do you know what? I'm going to share my opinions and stuff. Let's talk, say it how it is about Tottenham, about everything, right? We're going to talk about also, just so you know, guys, also I've said to the creators behind the scenes and stuff, I spoke to a few of them. The way it's going to work is I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff just on my own. A lot of it will just be on my own. I won't be going on to other channels. I've spoken to them. Nothing against other channels. Look, make sure you're subscribing to all of the community. That I've always stood by that. You need to have balance, differing opinions to sort of understand it. Whether or not you agree or disagree with people, it's really, really imperative that we listen to every side of it and we don't sit and force ourselves into sort of an echo chamber of it, in a sense, on our opinions, right? So I think this is so really, really important. Whether you agree or disagree, it's really good to listen to both sides of the arguments. Whether you're Ange in, Ange out, Levy in, Levy out, it doesn't really matter, right? It's really, really imperative that we learn and listen to everyone's opinion and share the love, right? Listen, YouTube, people don't realize a lot of YouTubers put up a lot of time in this and work really, really hard in all of that. Yeah, look at you. Now I'm a little bit negative. Look at you guys. The chat. Big up to you all, man. Yeah, this isn't an Arsenal channel. This is definitely a Tottenham channel, and we will be talking Tottenham Hotspur and maybe other bits and bobs here and there. But yeah, as I said, without me sounding in a rude way, like for me, this was all about coming back and just being on my own, doing it on my own, working hard, and look, listen, we're here to discuss it and right. And listen, I will be using the comment. I'll say that again. I completely butcher that. I'll be using the community page really a lot now. So guys, if you've been onto my community page, go and check it out. I'm doing sort of daily stuff on there, just to sort of asking questions, and I will be using it to ask you guys to ask me questions, right? Because it's really good to get some feedback and stuff like that. So yeah, look, big up, man. Like let's crack on with it, right? Look, as I said, my thoughts at the moment on Tottenham, I think the key word is inconsistent. I think we can, if we all put one word in the chat right now on what you thought about Tottenham, I think we'd all be saying the first word will be we're inconsistent. Inconsistent. We win some, we lose some. We don't really go on runs of form. You don't look at us and go, do you know what? The last couple of months, we haven't lost a game. We've won 8, drawn 2, whatever it is, like over a consistent period of time. And I think that for me is where, as a football club, where's the sustainability in that? It's great. I hear all this talk about Spurs are great to watch. Do Spurs fans think we were good to watch? Are we good to watch? I don't personally think we are. I think what we are is we're a chaotic team. What I've always said is we're a good team to watch if you're a neutral football fan. If you're a neutral football fan, Spurs are great to watch, right? Spurs are great to watch if you're an inconsistent football fan. If you're a neutral football fan, because you look at it and go, do you know, it's going to be a chaos watching Tottenham. They'll either score 4 goals or they'll concede 4 goals. You kind of always feel that was the way, right? And that's how, for me, that's where it's always come down to. Oh, my screen's just turned itself off. We're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that's where I think we don't look at us and go, do you know what? We're hard to beat. We're one of the easiest teams to beat in the league. And I mean, even the likes of Southampton, I wouldn't put it past us to lose against them, who have yet to win a game this season, right? Or is it? No, I think they have won 1 game. Sorry. They're bottom of the league, but they've won 1 game. The last team that didn't lose was Ipswich. We lost them. If I told you my feelings and thoughts on Ipswich, absolute disgrace. Yeah, look, I just think we're really, really at a stage, and a real quandary is probably a good word. Is where do we go? I hear both sides of it. Do we keep Ange, sack Ange? Like, I'm in the Ange will be gone regardless, right? Ange will be gone regardless. Oh, big up. I've just seen Marlon, or is it Marlon Ashraddy? Big up, man. Like, in the chat, big up, man. But yeah, look, I think for me is we are just at that stage where, like, what do fans want? For me, I just want a manager I can believe in. And I think that's the really key word for it. I think people have different feelings, and I understand why Ange gets a lot of love, by the way. I'm not naive into thinking I don't get it why everyone loves him. I kind of understand it. He comes across as you're kind of really loud, really your uncle. He comes across like, in a certain sense, bit of an obnoxious uncle. I don't want to be a derogatory or something, but I can kind of understand why people do like him. But I equally 100% understand why people don't. I don't want him to be my mate. I want him to be my football manager. I didn't like the likes of Jose and Conte, but you could understand why they are the football manager. You can understand why they're the football manager. You don't have to like him. I thought Conte was horrible. I thought he was horrible. His attitude was horrible, but I understood it. For me, Ange at the moment is coming across, for me personally, that he is arrogant, snappy, and he's built this kind of narrative at the moment for me, and he's built a lot of this around. This is just, again, my opinion. This kind of us against the world mentality. I think he comes across as us against the world mentality, which is good and fine. That's fine. However, where does that leave it? The us against the world mentality. It's great because we have fans that go, do you know what? He gets us whilst we're losing game, right? And that's where I think it is. It's all feelings. This guy produces the feelings that fans want. This guy produces those levels of feelings. So you've got the fans, and I'm not going to name names, I don't need to, that go, do you know what? I just believe in this guy. But you lay down the facts, you lay down the figures, and you go, hang on a minute, this guy doesn't have a clue. He loses a lot of football matches. And the thing is when I hear people going, well, it's a process and a project, don't believe that crap. Those are buzzwords built by football clubs that have allowed that to manifest through media platforms to lower standards at football clubs. It's ironic, isn't it? A lot of our fans now are sitting saying, trust the process. We used to mock Arsenal for saying that. Everyone used to mock Arsenal for saying, trust the process. It's a project. Arsenal did all that. All of that has manifested into what we're doing now. We're just Arsenal that haven't won as many FA Cups. We've become that football team. But people love all that. And that's great. That's amazing. But I don't know. The answer is I don't know the answer. But will Ange be here? And I'll ask everyone in the chat now. We've got about 15, 16 of you in here. So big up to you all. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you're subscribing. We want to try and see if we can get to 2,500 as quick as possible. It's 160. No, we're not going to get that anytime soon. So make sure you come along. If you were here before and you've come back, thank you very much for coming back. Listen, we're here. We're going to have just chill, long time. We're going to just chill and chat a bit of football every day. We'll have a stream maybe this time every day, whatever, and we'll just have a little chinwag, right? Yeah, look, here's the question, and I'll ask everyone in here. Does anyone think, first, we'll start it. Do you think Ange will be here in 2 years? Yes or no? Serious, listen, will he be here in 2 years' time? I'm going to say no. Will he be here in a year's time? I don't know. Will Ange be here before the end of the year? Now that's the question, right? Because I'm hearing reports that he has 5 games left. 5. And those games I've got them here with me. Hang on. Give me a second. So he's got 5 games left, which is Man City away. We're not winning at Man City. We're not winning. Don't want to hear any nonsense about that we're their bogey team. We're not beating Man City. If we do, it's the absolute shocker. Next up is Roma at home. Now, for me, Roma are one of those teams that everyone I hear, I heard it all in the summer. Spurs will walk the Europa League. Look how that's going. Yeah, we won against the 3 lesser teams. I don't want to be disrespectful, but we should have beaten. Who was it we beat? Ferencvaros, Karabag, and AZ Alkmaar. Yeah, we should be beating those 3 teams. We played Galatasaray, again, a team who I think are a good team. They're not a great team. Yeah, they've got some good players, but as I said, we'll talk about the tactics side of things, because that for me was an absolute mess tactically. But we'll park that for 1 second. We also then have in those other 3 games: Fulham at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home. Now, for me, we lose to Man City, draw to Roma, beat Fulham at home, maybe. I think we draw at Bournemouth away. And Chelsea at home is one of those games for me that Chelsea at home for me is one of those games that I think it's all going to hinge on that. It wouldn't shock me, and this is it positive hat coming on. Chelsea at home is one of those games that I could imagine us winning, and everyone in the fan base loses their marbles. Look, see, we've turned the corner. We've beaten Chelsea at home. Great. Means nothing if we don't win anything, right? It is big up Lee Gunner, by the way, because he says a great point. Wins that insignificant wins if you don't win anything at the end of it, right? And that's kind of where it comes from. Like Chelsea at home, I think Ange's tenure at Tottenham might hinge on Chelsea at home. We very rarely beat Chelsea. I think we do at home. I fancy us at home, but Chelsea are the team that Spurs should have been, in the sense, and hear me out when I say that. Spurs should have been a well-oiled machine. I hear the term rebuild, all this crap. One player, Dominic Solanke. The rest of them all ill last season. So you expect the 10 of those 11 players to be a well-oiled machine. And they're not, are they? Let's be fair, they're not a well-oiled machine. Chelsea are. You look at Chelsea, you think Chelsea are... I'm hearing people saying Chelsea could be the outsiders in a title race. Don't think it. I think it's going to be a 2-horse race. Maybe Arsenal, if they get their act together, might sneak in there. But for me, it's a 2-horse race for me. I think it's between Man City and Liverpool. People already writing City off, bar me. I mean, you can't write Manchester City off. Look, we're a good side. We're not a great side. We're not a crap side, I want to swear. Knowing YouTube, we know what YouTube's like. So, and I think that for me is the key bit. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm not monetized. I'm not monetized right now, so I can swear all I like. I just realized I lost my monetization for not streaming for 10 months or whatever it was. As I said, we're an okay side, right? We're an okay side. We beat some rather awful football teams. No disrespect to them, but we lose to anyone of note. How many more managers have to outplay us tactically on the pitch? No, we're playing. It's Chelsea at home, Nige. It's Chelsea at home. Is it Chelsea away? I can get the VAR check on that one, but I'm sure it's at home. Yeah, it's Chelsea at home. Bournemouth's away. Yeah, Bournemouth's away. Yeah, so look, I think that's the bit. Look, let's talk more tactically about Ange and what. Let's talk about tactically, because I could go on this and break stuff down. I could bring up loads of stats. I don't think we need to see any more stats on this guy. I mean, because the stats are horrendous. I'm worried because in summer, and look, I know people that like this manager. I know people that really don't like this manager. So I've got a good spectrum of it all. I'm quite in the middle. I'm in the camp of Ange. I don't care. I'll say this now: if he gets sacked tomorrow, I couldn't care less. But if he's still managing, again, equally, I just don't think it makes much difference personally. And I think that's where I'm at. I think screaming Ange out makes no difference, right? It really makes no difference. Does screaming "I love this manager" again equally doesn't make much difference, right? Yeah, I just think, look, tactically this guy is awful. That is the God's honest truth for me. If you want my honest opinion, I think tactically this guy is one of the worst tactically in the league. I think there's championship teams who I've watched manage games during a match better than Ange Postecoglou. I mean, it's funny because people will go back to my videos that I made like a year ago going, the disrespect to Ange, that was one of the biggest viewed videos on it. I got about 9 or 10K views on it. And people are going to go back to that now. Yeah, I'll put the link of that in the description if you want to watch it. Why not? It's good to look back at some of the old stuff. But I look at it now and I go, tactically, this guy's not there. I think Ange for me has lived off 10 games of football longer than I've ever seen anyone else. Imagine if David Moyes, we'll use David Moyes as an example. Imagine he won 10 games, was 8 wins, 2 draws for West Ham at the start of the season. And West Ham fans over a year later are sitting there saying, this guy's great after losing 5 on the bounce. We'd all be going, what the heck? I think we have to, as football fans, this isn't just Tottenham. I think this is a lot of football fans nowadays that don't put their standards to other football clubs that they do to their own. Example, Arsenal lose a game of football, we're all sitting there taking the mick out of Arsenal. Spurs lose a game, we find an excuse. And for me, it's always been about that. I've always been one of those people that would, if I'm going to laugh at Arsenal about stuff, we have to call it out at our football club. For me, it's only fair. And I think tactically this guy isn't the one. I think he's come into a football club where he's come in because and this is no disrespect, by the way. This isn't a disrespectful thing. For me, managing, when a lot of people, before a lot of us jumped onto this feeling about this guy, before we've had a long-term analysis of this guy, of watching him managing game. Because let's be fair, big up Sheriff, mate. But I think that's a great point though. Taking Celtic team to win a treble, that's like for example, that's like managing Man City and winning both the league and both domestic cups. You would, if Manchester City won every trophy this season, you wouldn't be shocked. They're the best team in the country. And when I break down the stats about his time at Celtic, people do massively forget that what this guy, this manager at Celtic, what happened? Ange spent 2/3 of the whole budgets at Celtic. Like, do you know what I mean? He spent 2/3 of the whole of the budget in the Scottish League. I worked it out. I think it's something like 67%. No, it wasn't 2/3. Sorry, 2/3 was, I believe, Celtic. It was something. No, so it was like 8/10 or something of like Celtic and Rangers. It was like it was ridiculous, but whatever it was something like they spent 50%. Celtic played. Rangers spent about 20%, and then the last was like 10 or so percent of the rest of the league. And I think that for me is a massive. That says it all for me. He was able to go and buy better players at Celtic to go and win him leagues and stuff there. So for me, I don't think it's relevant, right? Yeah, big up, Darren. No, mate, you never have to apologize. Never apologize, mate. Never. As long as you hit the little like button, it's all that I ask for. Would you rather Conte right now or Ange Postecoglou? Look, with the squad that we've got right now, Conte, whether or not I liked his tactics or not, Conte would be able to find a way with that 11, best 11 players that we've got, and go, do you know what? We'll make sure we're strong defensively and we'll allow the counter-attack. Because when I watch Tottenham play on the counter-attack, I'll use Villa and Man City in the Cup as examples. We didn't play this Ange ball. We played very counter. We sat in a bit, hit them on the break. And in the transitions, I thought we looked really, really good and dangerous. So what worries me is the manager hasn't identified that and gone, do you know what? This is where I can get these boys playing. And isn't that for me the concern? That we all can see, watch us against Aston Villa. We didn't sit high line and then play this turgid passing side by side all the time. What we did is we sat deeper. We didn't sit on our goal line, but we sat a little bit deeper. And then we used the transition in the likes of Papa Matasar, which for me, if you're going to have Pap Sarr in your team, that is exactly what you want him for. Counter-attacking, being a threat out wide. And for me, that is such a crucial part. Really, really crucial. But I think in the way that we play normally, 99% of the time, we sit really high up. And I think Sarr doesn't benefit. If you want to go and benefit the likes of a Pap Sarr, you want to play in the transition. You want to get him the ball so he can travel with it, use those wide players, whether or not we like the likes of Brennan Johnson. I don't want to offend. I don't think he's a great football player. He's a good goal scorer late into the box, not a great football player, but he's got energy, and you can transition really well with the energy that the pace that we've got out wide. And that for me is where we're lacking. But we play this sort of passing, and I don't think, and the likes of Conte would play that level of football. I think, there'll be games where we're playing the likes of Man City and we'll go, God, what is this? This ain't good. This football isn't good. But when you're playing against teams, you will go and see, do you know what? We'll grind results out with it under a Conte. For me, when I hear a manager, when I hear a manager make comments like, against Brighton, well, I didn't want a false representation of a result. Hang on a minute. What are you talking about, mate? What are you talking about? You're the manager of our football club. I don't care if we've been crap every game this season, but if you've got the results, then you're a good manager. You know how to grind out results. I think it's a really, really naive comment to make from him. And fans loved it. And I don't understand why. And I'd love to know what people's thoughts on this. Look, I know I'm a little bit behind in this commentary. People have talked about this to death. But I'm just sort of going through it. I haven't spoken about all this. So I'm just really rattling it off. So I do apologize if it feels like I'm ignoring you in the chat. But I'm just really on one at the moment because I'm trying to sort of understand what we are as a football club. What are we? Because the manager comes out and says comments like, makes a comments, as I said, he makes comments like, well, we didn't deserve to win, so why should we shouldn't be expecting to get a result. No, you're the manager. That is your bread and butter. He gets all the plaudits when we play well, but when we play badly, it's always someone else's fault. For me, his job should be to get that result. That's his job. Let's be fair. If he came out, imagine, hypothetically, we're in the Carabao Cup final. And we play crap and we lose the game of football. And he comes out after a cup final and says that. Well, so let's just say a journalist comes out and says, well, look, Ange, you could tell from about 20 minutes into the game, insert team's tactics. You didn't decide to change your tactics. What was the reason for that? Well, look, it's the way we play. I won't be changing the way we play. I stick to my philosophy, blah, 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 blah. Hang on, mate. Your job here is to win trophies for this football club. Your job here is to win titles for this football club. Not using your platform as a way to masterful go on about your tactics. I don't care about your tactics. As I always say, and I'll always say this all the time, I'm always going to be a Tottenham fan when he goes. I was a Tottenham fan before he turned up, and I'll be a Tottenham fan when he leaves this football club. He's got to be in here to win it. But what I will say, and we'll sort of we'll divot for a second. What I'm going to say is this. What is success at Tottenham? I'll let you delve in on that one for a second. My screen's gone again. I'll let you delve in now. What is success at Tottenham? Yeah, look, Matt O'Reilly, one of those football players that I looked and went, perfect for what we've got here. Didn't get him for whatever reason. If he fell out with Matt O'Reilly, shame on him because he would have been perfect. Ange is okay when he's got the best. Yeah, exactly. If you've got the best in the division you've got, you're always going to win stuff, right? To a certain extent. And if you don't, then you get sacked. At Tottenham, we're better than what we're at. The standard we're at the moment, we're a lot better. Are you culling out? If you keep making us lose games of football, then I want you gone as well. Anytime, Donna. This. So many of our goals have been on bang on. When we're on the transition, we look so much better. We're so much better. And I think that's such an important bit people miss. When we transition, we look really good on the football. I think Spurs team with Conte would be much more transitional than, yeah, it would be. What we would have is you'd have 3 centre halves, and I think we're built with 3 good centre halves that would work better. What I will say, I will be positive in it. The 3 centre halves that we've got, Romero, Van der Ven, Dragusin, all very, very different. All very, very different. And for me, that's useful. And the problem is, it's good and bad in different ways, right? Good and bad in different ways. Because when we play it the way that we're playing now in this sort of 4-2-3-1 setup or 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it, the problem is what happens is you lose one of those defenders. You need I've heard a lot of negativity recently about Dragusin. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to sit there and give him an excuse. He hasn't been great since he's come in. One, he comes in on the bit part here and there. And the worrying thing for me is he gets a lot of pelters. I don't hear the same pelters for Romero. I do from a certain sub-pot, but I'm hearing loads of people that love Romero. I was told he was world-class in the summer. He ain't a world-class. He's world-class because he's a world-class because he's won the World Cup. That isn't the barometer. That's not how you judge world-class players. You judge world-class players on how they perform. He's meant to be the leader. I can't see any leadership qualities out of this guy. I think Van der Ven is a better defender than he is. I think Van der Ven saves Romero a lot of the time, and I think people miss that a lot of the time. But if you defended with a 3 of those 3, Romero, what you've got one extra man in there that can allow, when Romero does his marauding charges into midfield to try and clatter someone, you're protected, right? When Van der Ven makes those, what I like to call them, the Jan Vertonghen runs into the attacking runs, you've got an extra man back. What we do is when one of those 2 lads do that, we're left short at the back, and then all teams pick us off on the counter, long diagonal ball, and then it's insert fast attacker, and all of a sudden that's what happens, right? That's what ends up happening. I think you could play a sort of a 3-5-2, 3-4-3, whatever you want to call it. For me, a 3-4-3 would work quite well with us at the moment. I think it would do really well. You go that Vicario, obviously, we'll talk about him in a bit. The back 3 of Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, Doggy and Porro playing in an attacking role because they're not defenders for me. You then allow Bentancur with insert a Basuma or a Sarr, depending on the team you're playing. You can then allow the 2 behind a Solanke being a Kulusevski and Maddison who can tuck in a little bit and be more like creative players, allowing your wide men to go forward. I would play like that they'll be actively as wide men, those two, but you could tuck them in, play them in the middle to be the creative spark, if that's the buzzword you want to use, and allow the wide men to really get chalk on their boots and cause threat on the counter with them. That way, then when on an attacking press, you've got 5 attacking, 5 defending, right? In the sense of your midfielders just pivot around the 3 centre halves. That's how, if I was the manager, that's how I would look at Tottenham and go, that's how I want us to play. Kulu, Maddison just behind a Solanke to be the ones that make those passes. Obviously, then if you want to change it up, you can then offer the likes of a Johnson. Again, not a massive fan, but can offer width if you wanted more width on one side. I just think we can't play in a back 4 at the moment. For me, I think I think that for me is the worry, right? We don't really suit playing a back 4 at the moment. Because unless you buy a proper right back. I was saying, and big up to the guys in the group chat, I was saying when Barcelona let go of Sergi Roberto, I said he is the centre half, the right back we need. People, these guys agree. People, if I said to you now, like, we should have got Sergi Roberto, I don't know where he's at now, but I'd have had him in a heartbeat. I think he would have been perfect for what we need right now. Just 1 second. 1 second. I'll be back. Sorry about that. Apologies. Just had to sort something out there quickly. There was yeah. So yeah. As I was saying, I think that's the key bit for me, right? Is that where he's gone to Qatar or Saudi Arabia? See, I would have had a Sergi Roberto. I just think he would have been actually what we need, right? Everything that we would need right now. 1 second. My Face ID is not working. Yeah, so I think that's it. Big up Jose, my friend, absolute legend of the game. If you've not subscribed to this guy in here, make sure you're subbing. Jose's a really nice guy and really helpful in the community. Great content creator. Big up to you, my friend. He went to Coma. Oh, yes. I mean, I think I would have had him in at Tottenham, but I just don't think this manager wants players like that. Players that are experienced players. You'd have got him in on a year, maybe with a 2-year deal, to just go, do you know what? Whilst we've offered something a bit different, he can play in midfield if you need him to, play him in a 3 in midfield, and you can play and then playing at right back if you just go, do you know what? We just want someone to defend today. Look, we've got a doggy. He'll bomb up. We'll have one defending. And for me, that's important, right? But as I said to you, we just don't seem to make those signings anymore. When do we go and get a signing like that? And people would turn their noses up at him, people like him. But I would have had Sergi Roberto in at right back. We'll delve in a little bit more. Big up Rinketic. I think Madder's got the Matt O'Reilly treatment. It's why he stopped playing. Listen, I think this manager will. This manager is going to die on his sword if he doesn't beat. If he's going to have to die on his sword if the Maddison stuff is true, because if it doesn't work out, people will be sitting there saying, "Hang on a minute, you're playing your best creative midfielder, and you're not playing him. Why are you not playing him?" Like, and that for me is going to be so important. And if it, as I said, if it comes out that that is true, we're hearing murmurs, but when we hear it a bit more truthful, that for me is going to be such a problem for this manager. Big up to everyone as well, by the way. We're at 2,346 subscribers. Can we get at least another 4? Can we get 4 subs before the end of the show? We'll be going for a little bit longer, maybe about an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer. We'll see. We'll just have a little chat, really. I just wanted to show my also there were some questions on the community page I wanted to just bring up. Let me do it on my phone, it'll be easier. Me have a look. So I asked the question on here. A few comments have come in. Big up to Nige from Pure Coins. Welcome back, buddy. Question for you. If Ange stays, what does he need to do to change our away form and get fans on side? Much love. Big up to you, Nige, by the way. Really, really nice bloke. And if you've not, go over to Pure Coins and subscribe. Guy, really, really top bloke. And listen, really good creator as always. As I said, subscribe to everyone in the community. What does he need to do to change our away form? For me, I think what we need to do, for me, this is my opinion on the away form. We need to start becoming hard to beat from away from home. I think that for me is so important. Let's get the basics right. Let's be hard to beat. We will score goals. We're a goal scoring team, and we score goals of football, right? And for me, that's important. Be hard to beat. Yeah, I think that's the key bit for me. Be hard to beat away from home. Because the thing is, if you're hard to beat, and I think that's the one thing why Conte did so well. People didn't like it, right, with Conte, but people didn't like it. However, we were hard to beat, and you can't argue with that one. So yeah, big up Nige. That was a good point. Big up Rinkedic. How close is the transfer to Espanyol? Love that. Vamos Espanyol. Look, the Espanyol stuff was all a bit of fun, bit of play. I do go and watch him play, by the way. I like him. Manolo Gonzalez, his first ever managerial job. He was their he was their B manager, and then stepped up to their first team once they got rid of I think it was Luis Garcia they had before. But yeah, no, look, one of those teams that kind of knows where he's at, doesn't get a lot of money, hasn't spent a penny, by the way, at Espanyol, because their owners are worse than Tottenham's. Their owners are awful. Their fans are rioting. They hate their owners that much. But yeah, look, they brought in players like the likes of a Veliz up top. You want some Veliz updates? He's not that good. The problem, I actually feel a little bit sorry for him. He's come from playing football at Tottenham to go to a team that play very long, and he's just got to hold up play. And he can't hold. He's not a player that holds it up well. He scored a very, very good goal a couple of months back. It was 96th minute winner against I can't remember who it was against. I've forgotten who it was against, but I was there behind the goal when it went in. It was yeah, it was hilarious. It was quite funny seeing a lot of Spurs creators going absolutely crazy about him. I went, you didn't watch him for 95 minutes. You saw a little clip with him score a nice tidy goal. And it was yeah, it was quite funny seeing everyone going, we should have kept him. I was at the game, I watched him. He was awful for 95 minutes, but he scored a really good goal. No, Rinketic. No, it was he scored a hat trick against the team from it was they played at Deportivo Stadium. But there wasn't Deportivo La Coruña. It was a smaller team, but they played there. And Dawes here's another question. This is the final one. So big up. I'll put these up every single day before the day before a stream. So if you want to ask any questions, we'll do it this way. I think it's quite a nice little interaction way. Welcome back from Anna Dawes. This is Anna Dawes. I think she's in the chat. Big up to you. Long time coming. Thoughts on Ange's tactics, where they're hitting, where they're missing. Look, I think where they're hitting are that I think look, I'll start with the missing one. We'll be negative first. Why not? I just think we're defensively. I think we defend like a pub side. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I genuinely think I've seen better Sunday League teams defend better than us. You look at the Ipswich game, both goals. I could break down, especially the second goal. The first goal was some of the worst defending I've ever seen. But the second goal, even from, if you go and watch it from when they obtain the ball down in their half of the pitch, just freeze frame it all the way until the goal goes in. You see mistake after mistake after mistake. So-and-so doesn't close him down. So-and-so doesn't come tighter. Someone then doesn't mark in the box. And then he gets a tap in. Well, it was a tap in, but you know what I mean? Played across goal, scores it past the keeper. I mean, the amount of times we had errors defensively. But I've seen that goal all season. All season I've seen it. Yeah, big up Anna Dawes, by the way. Thank you for that thing. As I said, I'll put the community thing up if you want. Ask some questions. What we got here? And I will and I'll keep putting those bits up every day, and we can have a little chinwag. I think Sav has asked a question. Imagine we play wing backs 3-4-3. How perfect for this system? Yeah, look, I agree. I think 3-4-3 works for us. I think you could, as I said, I mentioned it just earlier. You go 3-4-3. You play your two in the three attacking roles. You put Kulu and Madison on one side, but you tell them to play. They can invert. Let them to invert. Allows Porro and a doggy to bomb up. Allows them two to bomb up, and you have an attacking five on the press. And for me, that's the key bit for me. I think that would work perfectly for us. So yeah, that's definitely how I would see it. Big up Philly, my guy. Thank you very much. Why does everyone? Why do you know what's incredible? Right, what's incredible, and I genuinely agree. Everyone can see playing into a back three with these players that we've got would work perfectly. Why can't the manager see it? And do you know what will be funny? What I'll hear is they'll go, well, Perchy, under Conte, you hated playing in a back three or a back five or whatever you want to call it. Correct, I did. I couldn't stand it when we were playing in there. But look at who we were defending with under Conte. Let me do some digging, because this is the best part of it for me. I love a bit of digging. I love a little fact check. Do you know who we played? Who was our back three under Conte? Conte got sacked in the 3-3 against Southampton, right? After that. Do you know who played in that back three? Because we talk about who we played and all this lot. The 3-3, where was it? Let me find it, sorry. No, not there. There it is. 3-3, here it is. That back three had Christian Romero, who I'm told is world class, so okay. I don't think he is, but Eric Dyer, who everyone at the football club wanted out, and Clement Longley. And then had wing backs of Porro, who's still there, so 2 of the 5, and Ben Davis at left wing back. Højbjerg, Skip, Son, Richarlison, and Harry Kane, and Fraser Forster in goal. I mean, the polar opposite on what we've got now. Let's be fair with it. Van der Ven's an improvement, and Dragoshin, whether or not people like him or not, he's an improvement. Like, Dragoshin's not a bad centre half. Watched him in the Euros. I thought he's a good centre half. And I think I think people miss that bit, right? People miss that bit. I think he's a good centre half that can really, really work in a 3. Signed from Genoa. No, he was signed from it was Genoa, right? Signing from Genoa, he played in a back 3. Romero from Atalanta, back 3. Van der Ven, back 3. And then we play in a back 4 with 2 wing backs. Again, the wing backs. Udogie played in a back 5. Call it a back 5 if you include the wing backs. Porro, wing back. It, for me, feels like we just put everyone in the wrong position. And it really, really is. It is a frustration for me. Because I always say, and the problem is I feel like at the moment now, the narrative at the moment at the football club is that it's the players' fault, because whenever it goes wrong at Tottenham, it's always the players. Always the players have let them down. Hang on a minute. You lot told me in the summer that we've got a better squad than Arsenal. Yes, that is right. We have a bigger squad. We have a better squad than Arsenal. I heard that in the summer. Anyone in the chat, if you heard, I heard Spurs fans saying there was a poll that was put out by Sky Sports that I think it was 70% Spurs fans think that Spurs will finish above Arsenal this season. What? What are people watching? And I think the problem is I've got a big issue with football now. Football in general, right? That it's all about rivalry, right? It is all about rivalry. So it doesn't really matter. What we've become is what football is marketed it now as. It's marketed as this rivalry, and we lose our absolute we lose our mind, right? So we have to go on. Spurs YouTubers have to go on to other channels and defend their team. Otherwise, you're called another fan. You're called an Arsenal fan or a Chelsea fan or whatever. Oh, you're twerking for rivals is the one I hear a lot. Twerking for rivals. What are you talking about? Just being honest about my football club. I think that's the key bit for me. Oh, you shit on Tottenham. No, we're crap. We're a crap football team, really, at the moment. We're okay, but we're crap at most times. But I think that's the bit for me. That is the key bit for me. We are just who we are, but it all stems from top down. And I think this whole thing for me is a process situation at the club. Buzzword, drink. I will drink a bit of water. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, Finn, you're right. It is. I hate these new caps, by the way. So I swear, since I was last on YouTube, we didn't have these stupid bloody caps. Where they come from? I'm just honest about my football team, and whatever people think about it, that is what it is, right? I don't care what. I'm not. People, I hear the narrative that fans or content creators are negative for views. If only you knew. If only you knew. I'm not going to name names. I'm not that child. I can't be bothered with that. I'm not getting in drama. People want to clip up my stuff, do it. I don't care, right? Do whatever you want. Break down anyone. I'll debate absolutely anyone. I couldn't care less. I have no issues with anyone. I don't care. Like, if you want to debate me. Come over to the Perchy channel, and I'll absolutely rinse you on your opinion most of the time. But when I hear, but the thing, what people don't realize, actually, the only way you gain money and stuff on YouTube, it's not about being named. It's about being people are dishonest, and you follow trends. That's where you make money. Right now, the bulk of the fan now there's a bit, not necessarily now, whereas why say sorry what? Not sure what that means, but anyway, yeah, but I think what happens for me at the moment is when you see what people say, like, it is, look, for me, honesty wins everyone. Oh, it's a meme. Oh, mate, I'm too old for that. I haven't got a clue with half these memes. There's too many of them. Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Welcome. Yeah, look, I think we have honesty will grow your channel slower, but you'll have more retention, right? I think what I see a lot of is it's all about clickbait and, oh well, Spurs Spurs are going in the right direction. Well, tell me how. I don't want, but don't ever say if. Whenever I hear whenever I hear the word if in a debate, tells me that's not fact, that's feeling. If is a great word. If Archie Gray comes good, he'll be the best player in the world. If every one of my 100-team ACCA comes in, I'll be a millionaire. If I pick the right numbers in the lottery, I'll be a multi-millionaire. If I got a job so and so, I will be the most paid, blah blah. If isn't factual. When you withdraw if from conversation and debate, it's pointless. It becomes fact over feed. It becomes feeling over fact, right? And that for me is where it'll always be. So when I hear people go, but if when I hear people saying that, I switch off. I go, you're talking from your heart, not from your head. And when I hear a lot of the ifs, I just think what you're doing is you're just trying to be positive. That's fine. No, you can say whatever you like. That's what's so great about this platform. You can say whatever you like. However, what you can't do is belittle other fans that will be much more analytical and look at the factual information in front of us, win, losses, and draws. None of the other crappy stats that are irrelevant, because I don't care about XG. XG is irrelevant. Did he put it in the back of the net? Yes or no? If he did, great, because it's a goal. If he didn't, irrelevant. It's not a goal. If buts and maybes, if my mum had a dick, she'd be my dad kind of argument, isn't it? That's what it is, right? And I think that for me is where we are. I mean, that's the bit that happens, right, when it comes to the fact over feeling fans. It'd be a good if anyone wanted to do a podcast, fact over feeling podcast would be a great name for a podcast. Facts and feelings podcast. When are we getting that going? Who wants to do it? I don't know if I've got time to do another funny podcast. I just think what's happening is a lot of football's been dramatised now, massively. Someone said saying I was paid by Espanyol. Who said that? That would be brilliant. Oh, Simon, I'll star yours about Brian Hill. Sorry, apologies. I'll star yours about Brian Hill. We'll have a little chat about that. I'll tell you my thoughts on him. Ennis, we all know Perchy is paid by Espanyol. Trust me, they ain't paying me anything. Their owners are cheaper than Daniel Levy. They're not paying me anything. But I love going over there. Their fans are the most committed fans ever, by the way. Their fans are so committed. They don't turn up to the stadium. Their stadium's half full half the time now. But it's good value over there. Yeah, some good football. I watched them down a pub watching them at the Bernabeu. Yeah, they got battered in the end, but they went toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. I don't ever see like Ipswich, or not even Ipswich is the wrong example, Southampton going toe-to-toe with anyone. Big up to you, my friend. Simon said, how's Gil getting on in La Liga? I know Gio Lo Celso scored 6 in 8 games with Betis. Yeah, look, Brian Hill for me at Girona. I'll show you something, actually. Hang on. Why not? I've actually got a Brian Hill shirt. Because do you know what? Like, Brian Hill, I watched Brian Hill against Osasuna. So I've got myself, I don't know if you can see that. Brian Hill, my Brian Hill Girona shirt is there. I can go over there now. Yeah, so I've got my Brian Hill Girona shirt, because why not? I think he's doing really well, by the way, over there. He's doing really well at Girona. Do you know what it is? Is he suits Spanish football to a T. Because people laughed at me when I said Brian Hill, right now, technically, is the best winger at Tottenham. People lost their marbles. What are you on about? His technical ability is really good. His technical ability is really good. The problem is that Tottenham got him in and had no plan for him. And I think that was the detriment. I think if Brian Hill came into Tottenham when we had a plan on what we wanted him to be, you'd have had a really, really good winger. But he didn't really fit any role that we put him in, because it was we didn't play in the he didn't play in a system that suited us, and as I said, it just got ridiculous for me. Look, I think I think he will do really well at Girona. I hope he stays there and doesn't come back, because for me, I think that is crucial, because he'll do really well over there. It fits him. If my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike. I need that, Miss Bunny. I need that clip. I'm gonna find that clip and have it on here. And whenever I hear anyone using the words "if," I'm gonna put that on. And you just hit that clip on. That's a good one. I like that one. Welcome back, Aaron. How you doing, mate? Glad to see you. You're well, mate. Hope you're good. Guys in the chat, smash the likes and subscribe if you haven't. Can we get one more subscriber and then we get to 2,350? That will be amazing. Arnold, Spurs fans doing well in life. And John, we don't need time Spurs to do anything. Yeah, it's true. Big up to you, mate. Big up. Big up, John. Absolute pleasure. Day one. You were a day one, John, from the beginning of the old Perchy TV days. Big up to you, my friend. Fans want Dear Deirdre. We're in agony, aren't? Love it. Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. Only doing it for money if you disagree with him. No, just opinions, right? What I've noticed as well, I've noticed a trend recently as well, which just, it's quite good sitting back and watching some stuff, right? The trends I'm seeing are, if you disagree with somebody, you're negative. Hang on, but then you don't like Timo Werner. Doesn't that make you negative? Oh no, but he's rubbish. So the point of the matter, what I'm noticing is you're only negative when you disagree with someone. When they disagree with your opinion. It's just opinions, right? Man, I'll take Michel Lad in Girona for Ange. Mate, Michel tactically is levels above Ange Postecoglou. Girona have a nothing squad. No disrespect to him. What he's done at that club is incredible. Girona are tiny. I've been to their stadium. It's tiny. And they've got Liverpool to go there. I don't think Liverpool played there yet. And I believe Arsenal will go in there to play at that stadium. Trust me, Arsenal, and they won't like playing there. They'll probably beat Girona because Girona aren't as great anymore. But I tell you what, it ain't easy to get to as well. It's like a half an hour walk from the train station in Girona. It's a nice, lovely stadium. It's a proper old school Spanish stadium. This is the best way to describe it. Really nice place. Yeah, this identifying, it's not about money for me. We spend money, but the problem is what I hear a lot is about money that we've spent and all this lot, right? Money that we've spent. I just think for me, it's not about what we've spent. We spend money. The problem is what we don't do is we don't identify players. So we're not buying. The reason of purchase is never because they will do this job for me. Normally I think this is where it all comes down to, right? Where it all comes down to is we look on sell on value. And I think that is the crux of it all. We will sign a player if they've got sell on value. And that's where I get really, really like, oh, I can't do this. If that's how it's going to be, then what are we doing here? Like, if we're doing sell on value, what is the point? And I think that's where I just sit back and go, what are we doing? What is happening at this club? Look, I think that for me is where it's at. We will never be that team until we change a lot of it. And I hear a lot of, and listen, I am Daniel Levy out. However, my stance is very different to a lot of people's. People just want him gone. That's fine. You can want Daniel Levy out of it as much as you like. I agree. I want him gone as well. But when I hear we just need new owners, hang on. I will sit there and say this. It's not necessarily new owners that we need. We need new mentality at this football club, new philosophy at this club. We need a lot of it. And when I say that, I mean in the contents of we need to build, we need that the football club's priority is the football club to create a dynasty at this football club. A bit like when Man City owners and Roman Abramovich went in at Chelsea, right? You want people to go in and say, do you know what? I want a legacy here. I want to be talked about in centuries. I want when we were owned by this guy ran our football club to win us Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, domestic cups. For me, we are a business. We're a business. We're not a football club. We never was a football club under these people. We're just a business, and the football club is within that business with the F1 that we've got, the NFL, the concerts. We are just a sub part of the business. So that's why we sign Lucas Bergwijn, because if he comes good and we sell him for 80 million quid, we made money. Or we retain them for so long. Because I think there's a real fine balance, right? For me, we should have sold Heung-min Son years ago. But we haven't sold Heung-min Son because he makes more money than any other player in the league. He individually makes more money, statistically. Statistically, that man makes more money than any other player in the league. That's why we won't sell him. That's why we won't sell him. And when I hear this nonsense about the extension that he's getting, of course he will. Heung-min Son will be at this football club until he retires. Then he will be an ambassador of this football club and he'll be some role within the club. I'm telling you, Heung-min Son is never leaving this football club because he makes this club too much money. And that's unfortunate because that tells me where we are as a football club. That is where we are as a football club. Daniel Levy lives off Heung-min Son for the money. And he will play until he can't walk. Yang's another one. No one here can tell me that Yang wasn't signed because he's the heir to Heung-min Son. I'm sorry. People will call me a skeptic. We haven't signed Yang because we think he's the next best winger. We think he's the next best Korean winger. And that's the difference, right? We've not signed him because we go, do you know what? This guy's going to be mustard. I don't think that's the case. Big up, Winkhead. I heard you got a contract to hate on Spurs via Chelsea. Is that why you hate them? Nah. I say it how it is, my friend. And I always will do. Perchy, it's not just the selling value, but it's also the structure of the deals. Yeah, Jay Ashraf, you're spot on. We can do a deal for someone like over 5 years for someone like Archie Gray. Of course. It's the Chelsea model that they've adopted, but by buying lesser players. Big up BVD, David. The sport is used to utilize options of players and tactics or style play. Runs, yeah. For me, I just think if you look at what we've become over the last 12 months, it's all about investment, right, and making money. And I always felt like that's how it's been. I think this year has proven to me. I think that has proven to me now where it's become, right? And this football club has become that. We are just that club now. We're just that club. And it will always be like that. I see Son staying so long that he becomes a villain. Look, Philly, Son will never be the villain at this club. I hear fans saying, you can't get rid of him. You can't. It's Heung-min Son. It doesn't work. Proper football clubs don't operate like that. But I'll be honest. I think Son is one of those players that there'll be still the percentage. Even if he was 37, still playing out on that left wing, would still be going. But it's Heung-min Son. He's a nice guy. He's our captain. But look, I think that's really where I've broken everything down about this football club now. How I feel. I just want to say, guys, thank you very much. I'm gonna sort of wrap it up in the sort of next 5 or 10 minutes. If you've got any questions, get them in now and I'll answer them. If you want to ask me anything, and I'll answer them. But thank you. I just want to say thank you to you guys for sharing me. We've had 61 likes. Big up, man. If we get to 100 likes, that'd be brilliant. I'd love that. That'd be so great if you could. Thank you. I want to say thank you for letting me back on. I say letting me back on. I was always coming back on, but thank you for coming to watch. I know it's some of you have had to resubscribe and stuff. If I can just ask you to like and share it around to people, that would be brilliant if you could do so. I'm not going to be worrying too much about subs and stuff. I do. It'd be nice to get back to monetization. I have lost that since being off for so long, so that'd be good. And I'll try and do stuff every day. Let's just do something every day. Every day, also at 3 o'clock UK time. 3 o'clock UK time. I'm doing a Would You Rather. So check the community page. There'll be a lot of content going on there. Just a bit of fun, right? Bit of fun. Would you rather? I think today's one at 3 o'clock is. Let me find it. Yesterday's was Keane or Defoe. Today's is. Let's have a look. Community. Today, what's today's date? It's the 18th. Today's one is Would you rather Archie Gray or Lucas Bergvall? So go over there and vote. Yeah, and as Finn Rickwood said, look, smash the likes. Come on, man. That'd be lovely. As Philly did as well, man. Thank you very much. And the last bit before I go, Jay Ashraf said, what's your prediction for the City game? For me, it is City at home, 3-1 Man City. I'm going to say I think we'll lose to Man City. I don't see how we beat them. If we get a result, if we get any result, I'll be taking it. Thank you very much, guys. Look, I'll leave it at that. I was going to say 5 minutes, but thank you so much. I said smash the likes on the way out, like the stream, and enjoy the outro. I hope you like the outro. On that note, guys, catch you later. Peace out and Levy out and I don't care if you're in or out. Peace out, guys. Ciao.